Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move into our IDE and let's write some code. So I'll move in here, and the first thing I'll do is create a new folder. And I'll call it O5 Inheritance. So let's create a new file, shape.ts. And so this will be for our shape class. So I'll export class shape. I'll define some private properties for X and Y. So I'll generate the get set accessors for X. And I'll do a similar thing here for Y. Okay, great. So I have these get set accessors set up for me automatically. I'll just kind of move this private Y, and I'll just move it up to line 4, just so I have my properties defined in the same location, and then my accessors down at the bottom. And now I'll go ahead and create my constructor. And I'll actually make use of parameter properties. So I'll just kind of cut the private X. And I'll do a similar thing here for private Y. Again, we're using that little shortcut here where we make use of the parameter properties where they'll actually define and assign at the same time without having to do any boilerplate code. So those are parameter properties there. So that's in good shape. And then I'll just kind of move down here to the bottom and I'll write the getInfo method. And I just return the XY location for this method. Alrighty, so this looks pretty good. So right now I don't have a public on the method, but remember in TypeScript, everything is public by default. Okay, so we have our shape class taken care of. So let's go ahead and create a new file for circle. So I'll have export class circle, extends shape, because we're using inheritance. And so there's an error message here. So it says that it doesn't know about shape. Okay, that means we have to import it. So I'll just manually import it. There are some quick fixes that you can use to automatically import it, but I'll cover that later. So for now, we'll just manually import. All right, so that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and define our property for radius, and then we'll generate the get and set accessors. Then I'll go ahead and define my constructor. And I'll set up the two parameters for X and Y. Those are regular parameters. And then I also do a cut paste over here for the parameter property for radius and do a little cleanup up above. Okay, great. So remember that these are regular parameters, the X and the Y, and then private underscore radius, that's a parameter property. Now there's still a red X here, and so let's kind of hover over it and see exactly what the issue is. So it says constructors for derived classes must contain a super call. Okay, that's fair enough. So here we'll say super and we'll pass in the X and the Y. So we're making a superclass call as required. All right, and now the next thing we want to do here is actually override the getInfo method. and give our own implementation of that method. So here I give a return. I'll call super.getInfo and make a call to the Superclass method. And then also I'll give my specific information, radius equals, and this dot underscore radius. Okay, great. So that's the coding here. We kind of step back, and this is the main coding here for our circle class. Good job.